Shut up and sit down.
Hello everybody, and welcome to my latest V-Strom update. I think this is number 6, might be 5. Anyways, I'm here to talk to you today about tires. So first up, let's have a look at the bike. So for those of you that don't know, just a recap, I rode the bike for the first time on April 4th. And it was a brand new bike. It had rolled up to 1 kilometer at that time. Just, they put the bike together and they rolled it around and whatnot and at the factory and off. So when I finally got it here, it was at 1 kilometer. That was April 4th. Today is August 24th? I don't know, it's Friday. So not quite 5 full months, and it's 15,974 kilometers. For the sake of argument, we're just going to call it 16,000 kilometers in almost 5 months. I mean, I'll be riding tonight and tomorrow, and by the time the month ends, yeah. So let's talk about tires. The stock tires that the V-Strom comes with are Bridgestone Trail Wings. The front tire is the 101, and the rear tire is the 152. And so let's have a look at them. These are the original tires that the bike came with, and after, 16,000 kilometers, the front tire is still doing quite well. You can see that I've probably got another 1,500 kilometers maybe. But, so those are the, maybe those are the wear bars there. I don't know if that's really what it is or not, but anyways, you can see that there is in fact some tread left. And I could ride this for a bit longer. Well, let's have a look at the back. So that's the 101. Back here we've got the 152. Yeah, crazy, eh? So it looks like 16,000 kilometers is in fact the maximum you're ever going to want to ride these tires. You can see there really isn't even a tread gap right there. You can feel it, but it's ever so tiny, a 1/10 of a millimeter maybe. Yeah, so this is my first bike, and I've ridden it hard, but as you can tell, I'm not always very comfortable leaning it very far into corners. So you can see there's actually quite the ridge here between the center that's been flattened and there. So you probably only want to go like 14,000 kilometers before you change the tires. 16,000 is definitely pushing it. So I spent the last few days trying to figure out what are the new tires that I want to put on the bike. My riding instructor, a fellow I've taken 3 different courses with, and I trust a great deal, he recommended to me the TKC 80s. And so I went and looked at them, and for me, I think they're just a little too aggressive. They're a knobby tire. They're a 60/40 off-road, on-road tire is what they're listed as. And I think they're just, first of all, they're just too aggressive for me. I need more road-oriented than I do for that, even though the off-road handling of those tires would be like the ultimate. I think they're just too much for me. But picking a set of tires is just so hard, There's so many things to consider for a set of motorcycle tires. So I hummed and I hawed, and I looked at the Metzler Karoo 3s, thought about buying them, because they definitely seem to be the tire I wanted. Hello, neighbor. Hello, Lola. The Metzler Karoo 3s definitely seem to be the tire I really wanted, but they're quite expensive, actually. They're really expensive. So a guy I ride with every now and then here in town, through one of our meetup groups, the Calgary Riders group, motorcycle group, and everything else group, or whatever it's called, he has an older V-Strom, and I remember that I quite liked the tires that he was running. So I sent him a message and asked him what they were, and he told me what they were. And they were the Mitas E07 tires. And so I started looking up those, and they're a 50/50 tire, but they have a chevron, overlapping chevron pattern, and they look like, they're probably the right solution. So I popped on a Twisted Throttle yesterday morning and bought myself a set. I finally committed to those, as opposed to the Heidenau's. What are they? The K90s or K60s? I don't remember right now. And the Metzlers and everything else. The Mitas definitely seem by far to be the best choice. All the reviews I've read about them say they get a lot of good mileage. They handle very well. They're not noisy or vibration-wise, which is something that's actually important to me. And yet I'm going to get a lot better off-road characteristics anyways than these stock tires. Pretty much any tire I go to. I'm not looking to go all out off-roading. Well, maybe once in a while. But nonetheless, I think those are going to be the best tires. So I ordered a set yesterday from twistedthrottle.ca. It's a Canadian motorcycle parts supplier. They do a lot of aftermarket parts, SW Motec and everything else. Got the email today saying they've been shipped. They'll be shipped out from FedEx Ground tonight, and they should arrive next Wednesday. Really, hello, that's my neighbor's wife, my other neighbor. So next Wednesday, I should have the new tires, and then I have to make the appointment at Blackfoot to get them installed. So, through the power and magic of video editing, there they are. A brand new set, Mitas E07 Dakar Adventure tires. 50/50 tires, off-road, on-road. Look at them. So that yellow stripe means that these are the Dakar versions, Dakar. What that means is these have an extra strong sidewall, an extra layer of material on the sidewalls, making them more resistant to slashing and puncturing on the sidewalls, as well as more resistant to pinch flats. And I think that's good. Considering what I have planned, I think that's good. So look at those, eh? Look at how deep that is. That's brilliant. Old and bald. New and awesome. So I'm going to drop these off at the shop this afternoon. I got to take them down on my car because I'm not going to bother. I guess I could strap them to the bike, actually. I guess that wouldn't be too hard. But I don't know, I'll think about it. So tomorrow I get them mounted and then I'll go try them out. So that's the wear bar right there. That's not very deep. It's not a lot to the wear bar. I'm a little surprised by that. I thought it was more. Interesting. Very interesting. Wow, aren't they pretty? Sorry if the video is a little shaky. Let me just try this. I'll grab it a little lower, see if that helps. Mitas E07 Dakar. Those are just gorgeous. That's the rear tire and the front tire. Jeez, those are some serious treads, eh? Wow. All fuzzy. I can't wait to try these out. So definitely this weekend I'm going to go find some gravel roads and maybe go out to either Wipers or McLean Creek. The Italian Grand Prix in Monza is this weekend, so I'll do it after the race, or after qualifying on Saturday and after I have my nap. I'm really looking forward to these tires. So you can see the original tires, the size of the tread compared, yeah. Fantastic. Wow, look at those, eh? Oh, there they are. Mounted, ready to go. So I'm at Blackfoot Motorsports. Just picking the bike up, dropped it off this morning. Dropped the tires off yesterday. I brought them down in my car because I didn't want to have to figure out how to strap them to the bike. So, brought the bike in this morning, they mounted the tires. I'm here to pick them up. Wow, look at that. Let's have a look at the numbers on the bike here. don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? 16,081 kilometers. So those original tires, stock tires that came on the bike, 16,081 kilometers. They look great, don't they? I mean, they really give that bike the right look now. I mean, the stock tires were excellent, but these ones, it's going to be so much better. Look at those. They just look gnarly. Alright, so I'm heading out on a group ride this evening with my local meetup group, the Calgary Motorcycle Riders and Everything Else group. That's usually about 100 to 150 kilometers, which should be, and it's all on pavement. I don't think we're doing any adventure ride tonight. So that should be just enough to break in the tires and clean them off, scrub them. And then hopefully this weekend, I'm planning on getting out and doing some off-pavement riding. But the weather looks kind of crappy, but it's a long weekend and Monday looks like it might be a good day, so we'll see what happens. We got the Italian Grand Prix in Monza this weekend, so I'll be waking up really early and then going back to sleep afterwards. And then we'll see if it rains. If it's too wet, I won't be going out to McLean, that's for sure. But yeah, I'm definitely going to go find some gravel and off-roading this weekend and see how well it does. Anyways, I'll probably add a little more to this video after tonight's ride, and then I'll post this either tonight or tomorrow night. And then I'll get back to you all about how I think the tires are off-road. Really looking forward to running these new tires though. Alright, so those are my brand new Mitas E07 tires. These are the Dakar version. You can see the yellow stripe on there. So there's the extra strong sidewalls. Well, I wonder what pressures they put them up to. I'll have to check the pressures just to see what they did. Yeah, and they fit perfectly. Yeah, very little room in there. All right, see y'all. So I've got about 70 kilometers on the tires now. All of it just on pavement. Most of it doing like 80 to 100. Not a lot of street, but some street. What have I noticed so far? They are different. They really do behave quite differently than those trail wings that were on the bike. First, just right off the bat, just dry steering is different. When the bike is standing up and you know, you're not moving, and you turn the handlebars, they turn really, really easily, which is weird. I wasn't expecting that. The trail wing, you have to put a lot of force behind the steering to actually dry steer it like that. This one turns really easily. On real slow speed, you know, like 10 kilometers and less, you know, when you're dragging the rear brake and friction points and all of that, I don't really feel much of a difference. Counterbalance and do the slow speed turns, that all feels good. I did a little bit of practice on that. Medium speed, like surface streets, 30 to 50 kilometers an hour, huge difference. Wow. So at those speeds, when you push the handlebar to do a push turn around a corner, the bike just wants to fall over. It is really weird just how easily the bike wants to lay over at those speeds. It freaked me out the first time. And then once you're going around the corner, it really wants to hold that laying over. So to stand the bike back up, I actually do have to put a little more force on the other handlebar to counter steer it back up. It was really surprising how easily it just wants to lay over. I start to hear some road noise on the tires at about 60 kilometers an hour, but at about 80 kilometers an hour, the wind takes over. At about 110 kilometers an hour, there is a slight vibration that comes up through the handlebars. It feels like there's a little more vibration than there used to be. But at 110, just even on the other tires, there was always just a little bit of vibration. And it feels like it's a little stronger now. But yeah, you know, at surface street speeds, 30 to 50K, these tires feel weird. really, the bike really just wants to lay over. I don't mean fall down, lay over. I just mean tilt. You know, around the corners, just a little bit of input, counter steer, and the bike just rolls over. It is really amazing. I forgot to actually check what the tire pressures were, so I'll try and make sure I do that before I post the video. I haven't done any gravel yet. So I was out with a group ride. I don't like speeding, and I'm not one for just, you know, bulleting out of corners, acceleration-wise. And, well, these guys apparently are, because they fucking lost me. So I got up to an intersection here, and the other thing is because these are brand new tires, I'm taking it easy. And we got onto this road with a lot of twisties, and I wasn't really willing to, you know, go through those twisties very quickly because they're brand new tires. They're a bit slick, you know how new tires are. So the group got ahead of me, and then we got up to the stop sign, and I'm betting they turned left. I don't think they came down this way, but I said, you know what, fuck them. I'm just going to go out because this is just absolutely gorgeous out here. I don't know if you can see those mountains back there and the mists and the clouds and the fucking gorgeous. Excuse my language, but wow, is it ever beautiful out here. I've never been down here before. This is a new road to me, southwest of Calgary. And, you know, I like the tires. I really do so far. They haven't freaked me out or anything. I'm quite comfortable on them. At highway speeds, you know, 100 kilometers an hour on a proper highway, which is what we started on. There was no problem going around the corners. I had to pass a truck, and you know, I was accelerating behind the truck, and then the oncoming car passed, and I went out to the lane, and I felt full in control. Nothing felt weird about that. It felt just about normal. It did feel a little different than the original tires did. But otherwise, really, it wasn't bad at all. I never really noticed a lot of difference, so that was good. But like I said, at surface streets, big difference. Noise kind of kicks in. You start to hear it at about 60, and at about 80, you can't hear it anymore because of the wind noise, even with my helmet. So yeah, I mean, it's not a big deal at all. At 110, there's no additional noise. I don't hear anything. I hear my engine. Nothing changed at 110 for noise-wise. At 100 kilometers an hour, I mean. Okay, so I think I'm going to end this here. I'm going to go down this road, see where it goes, and then make my way back to Calgary to the pub for the after-ride drinks and ribs. And bitch at those guys. Fucking gorgeous. Wow. I really hope that shows up. And I hope I'm not too shaky. All right.